135. The Flight from Responsibility. Chalcedon Position Paper number 183, December 1994. In 1957, I read a book by Francis Huxley, then newly published, entitled Affable Savages, an anthropologist among the urban Indians of Brazil. Hopefully conditions have improved since that time, but the world over, we see a flight from responsibility comparable to that which Huxley observed. What these tribesmen did was to avoid all the marks of maturity. Pubic hair was thus an embarrassment. Facial and body hairs were plucked out to evade the marks of maturity. At least one young man I knew felt so abashed at the responsibility pubic hair, implied that he borrowed my razor and shaved it all off. Page 152 to 153. The men, of course, see being hard as their cultural goal, that is, being tough. Huxley observed, "It is difficult to live with a hard man who continually stands on his rights, and the hard man finds it difficult to live in a world where his rights are always being questioned." Page 118. Hardness is for these people virtue. Page 106. Enough has been said to suggest the parallels to our time. Young males in our society do much to play the hardness game, but with different forms. For example, earrings on men are an ancient symbol of slaves. Since the days of piracy, they have also been signs of a passive homosexual. With a sure instinct for evil, youth in flight from maturity and responsibility have adopted symbols of an evil past. Adult males of advanced years are guilty of the same evasion of maturity. Old men dress like their grandchildren, act as though shorts make them youthful rather than ridiculous, and act also as though maturity were an evil. The problem runs deeper than infantile dress and mannerisms. The cultivation of immaturity is an evasion of responsibility. Children are not responsible for the world's direction. Adults are. Children yearn for perpetual play. Adults have a duty to leave the world more free than they found it, but they are instead ready to allow a slave state to take over. The older generation, of which I am a member, is extensively responsible for our present evils. A few years ago, many an automobile had this bumper sticker: "We are spending our children's inheritance." With examples like this, is it any wonder that the younger generation is lawless? The Bible insists that even animals are to a degree responsible for their deeds. Exodus chapter 21, verse 28. Now our courts are increasingly ready to excuse murderers for their crimes. To deny human responsibility is to give a license to crime. A response is an answer, and responsibility means to be answerable or accountable. Our accountability or responsibility is essentially to God, and in God to men. If men will not be answerable to God, why should they feel accountable to men? There can be no restoration of maturity and responsibility without a thoroughly biblical faith. Antinomianism denies the legal foundation of responsibility, and therefore undermines society. Responsibility at times involves confession. To say unequivocally, "Against thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight," Psalm 51, verse 4, requires a sense of maturity and responsibility. It means taking our actions, whether good or evil, seriously. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 20 in James Moffat's reading tells us, "This is the way of an adulteress. She gratifies her appetite and calmly says, 'No harm.'" We regularly see particularly vicious crimes committed by young men who seem to have no remorse. The seriousness of life means nothing to them. However grim the situation, we can take heart. The way of the irresponsible ones is the way of death. They are suicidal, and they invite judgment. As Proverbs chapter 8, verses 35 and 36 tells us, "For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favour of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death,